Assalamualaikum, my name is Balkis. Today we are going to be talking about the pros and cons of activity-based costing, ABC.
Everyone, today we would like to discuss recently, there is a shift from a conventional business-to-business competition to drastic increase in competition, domestic and foreign, to the responsive, innovative information technology, followed by the changes in the cost of the product produced, of good and service, need to search and a better understand concept of accounting system with regard fast and accurate speed in information system. Nowadays, due to the variety of customer demands and product decrease of labor rate and wages and increasing of overhead, allocation of overhead cost of the product and service is difficult to calculate. Therefore, companies should adopt new method for calculating the cost and a global worldview approach to such overhead system calculation. Currently, different methods of allocating this overhead are available. The best method so far is ABC system, which is related to manufacturing overhead costs. This new method ABC has already attracted most attention because its flexibility and ability to allocate overhead. The main objective of management accounting is to provide relative and timely information for the management and organization. Thus, management is in a better position competitive measure based on cost, quality, and profitability.
Literature review of ABC system. In 1990s, the cost of accounting is a part of managerial accounting. ABC was proposed by Johnson and Kaplan because they know of the weakness and shortcoming of the cost volume system. They subsume that traditional cost system is lacking of useful information, and they tend to mislead managerial decision making because it includes irrelevant information. The activity of the system is the source of creating the cost. As a result, allocating the cost of the product based on the already activity which has taken place. In line with a aforementioned proposition, it will create a great extent that has contributed in the practical and theoretical design of such system of accounting.
I'm Sarah. So next, I'll be talking about the necessity of applying the ABC system. During 1980s, uncertainty exists among many managers on complexities as a result of applying a traditional cost accounting system. Some companies that are unsatisfied from the common accounting system started utilizing the ABC system. There are several reasons which make management to accept the ABC system. First, the allocation of some items of manufacturing overhead to fixed overhead level is costly. The difference between the traditional method, which using one cost driver, and ABC method, which using multiple cost drivers, is more complex than simply the number of cost drivers. When direct labor is a large portion of the product cost, the overhead costs tend to be consistently driven by one cost driver, which is typically direct labor or machine hour. When technology is a large portion of the product cost, the overhead costs tend to be driven by multiple drivers. So, by using multiple cost drivers in the ABC method allows for a more precise allocation of overhead. Next, ABC system provide relevant information relative to decision making. By associating cost to the activity, a clear relationship can be established between sources of activity demand and the related costs. This association can benefit distributor in determining where costs are being incurred, what is initiating the costs, and where to apply effort to curb inflationary costs. This can be a particular value in tracking new products or customers. After allocating costs based on the consumption of resources, management can see that the product uses far more resources and is actually less profitable than other products. Rather than throwing away additional investment to grow this product, management should take a corrective action to bring this product up to acceptable profitability levels. Third, cost of product is ascertained due to implementation of ABC system. Many businesses uses the cost of goods sold to determine how much it costs to create a product, but COGS focuses on direct costs and does not include indirect expenses such as overhead. Some businesses take their overhead expenses and allocate them evenly among all products. But some products use more overhead expenses than others. The cost of making each product is inaccurate under this method. With activity-based costing, we take into consideration both direct and overhead costs of creating each product. We recognize that different product requires different indirect expenses. By assigning both direct and overhead costs to each product, we can more accurately set prices, and the ABC process shows us which overhead costs we might be able to cut back on.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yasmin. So today I'm going to present about the importance of activity-based costing. Activity-based costing is one of the important components in the accounting environment. This is because it plays a key role in the production and cost accounting measures. So, activity-based costing basically based on two stages. The first one is determine the important activities and manufacturing overhead of each activity. The determination of this overhead comprises of a repository of activity costs. Okay, after manufacturing overhead for repository of activity costs had been determined, therefore the cost of repository is determined. So, and second, manufacturing overhead of repository cost for each product line is ascertained to a specific driver. For employing such techniques, companies can establish a new department as an accounting activity system section. This department play roles with the responsibility of overlooking the revenue and cost of each activities, thus planning, managing and monitoring of such an activity for the betterment of a firm. And with the support of management, this department can organize each activity as a profit center. Elimination of non-value adding activities in ABC system. First, to determine the cost of the product according to the different activities relating to the specific product. Next, to identify non-value added activities leading to resource wastages, disruption among others. Then, involve inefficient or high wastage or overall does not have any value added. Lastly, to revise productivity activity.
Now, let us talk about the relationship between ABM and ABC. ABC is essentially a subset of ABM, and ABM is applied as information-based activities in order to improve activity management. The aim of ABC is to increase the value of product and services delivered to customers, and also increase profitability through achievement of added value lower cost. The differences. ABM mainly focuses on the business processes and managing activities aimed at deriving organizational objectives. The ABC helps in improving the costing by outlining the various expenses like supplies, salaries, and rent to activities, and outlining these activities to services, business processes, products, customers, and distribution. Number 4, the ABC relates to the measurement of the cost and the performance of the various activities, cost subjects, and resources. Number 5, the activity-based management mainly focuses on management of activities as a method for improving the value obtained by the customer and the profit got by giving this value. Lastly, the activity-based management helps in determining the contribution of each person and also support balanced scorecard. It is considered to be a basis for business process redesign.
Hi everyone, today we would like to discuss about the comparison between ABC and VBC. What the difference between them? First, ABC system do order in a direct item more than the traditional cost system. That is say ABC use more cost driver. Second, ABC is more complex and costly while the traditional cost accounting system is simple and less expensive. Third, ABC is more suitable for the firms that are capital intensive while the traditional based on the labor engagement. ABC system usually choose the optimal combination of the product, but the traditional method system for managerial decision in order to choose the optimal combination of the product is complex and misleading. ABC system shows the highest cost product as having low volume, while the low cost as having high volume. 6. Cost driver used in ABC system is a financial variable and non-financial variable, while in traditional system, the cost driver is just financial variable. The main target of the traditional cost accounting provide information relative the profitability of the product, but ABC system is to provide information in respect to customer satisfaction, quality product and competitiveness on an international level and ultimately the profitability of the product. Rational cost is employed only on simple and standard product line. Activity-based costing system is used for simple and complex product line. In traditional cost system, is based on the allocating indirect item to the cost of the product, which may or may not to be actual incurred, while activity-based costing is usually actual.
Advantages of ABC. There are several advantages of ABC. ABC system, because of its several advantages, is used in most companies. The most important of this system is that it provides detailed information regarding overhead item, which lead to managerial right decision making for calculating the cost of product and services. First, better understanding about the cost of the product and creating a logical and accurate sale price for products. Next, better understanding and opportunity to reduce costs of mentioned item in a desired manner through its emphasis and activity that overhead is high. Next, changes a manager's attitude towards indirect items of product, which is manufacturing overhead costs. Next, motivate manager to monitor and reduce the indirect cost of the product. Then, opportunity for designer of product to reduce cost of product by applying the new insight and how to better and manage resource and expenditure. Then, reduce production costs by eliminating non-value added activity and applying the other activity efficiently. Next, the exact calculation of inventories, finished and work in process, and all other expenses, cost of goods sold, to help prepare financial statement and management report. Moreover, reasonable application of accounting principles and assumptions, such as principle of matching revenue with expenses and cost principle. Next, identify and eliminate products with high actual costs. Next, choosing a better combination of product through accurate calculation of product and services costs. Next, relative profitability of a product and company is identified. Next, justification of marginal sales of product. Then, facility profitability. Next, improvement of cost system and allocate the cost of the company favorably. Lastly, applying an appropriate analysis of absorption, cost system, and variable system to identify the behavior of overhead costs in relation to cost factor.
Even though activity-based costing has a lot of advantages, but it also has disadvantages. We also have difficulties to implement it in the company. One of the disadvantages is activity-based costing faced with serious resistance from employees and managers disagreement. Employees and managers of companies have a fear the acceptance of activity-based costing system, because this system leads to changes in the entire firm's current power structure. Therefore, there's a lot of disagreement between employees and managers. Second, training for staff at all levels to applying this activity-based costing system recorded another difficulty, because activity-based costing leads to the change the current power structure. So when we implement this activity-based costing, it also kind of have a problem to train all the staff at all levels to apply this activity-based costing. Okay. Next, due to the problems in data collection system in activity-based costing method, applying the standard cost system is faced with numerous problems regarding manufacturing overhead. So we can say that this activity-based costing, if we implement it, other than that, the benefit of using some systems such as just-in-time, total quality management, and others have been developed in some companies. Meanwhile, applying activity-based costing system just cause many problems. Like if we use another system, we can just straight away to develop it in the company. Okay, but if we use the activity-based costing, it just occur many problems. Next, one of the obstacles to implement the activity-based costing for compatibility is needed for appropriate management, intellectual thinking, and plan. So, if the company want to apply this activity-based costing, they need to have the very strategic planning. Okay. However, companies are now updated that management of activities is more difficult than its application. So, activity-based costing kind of difficult to implement it because due to a lot of problems. Okay. Under activity-based costing, each repository is decomposed to activities and identify and gather related informations require multiple investigation. So, not only that, computing a variety of absorption rate is complex and need more expenditure to this application. Not only they require multiple investigation, but it also require a lot of expense, and this can cause the reduce in profit in short term, and this is the reason some managers are not willing to implement this system. Next, identify driver activities, of course, is faced with a lot of problems. As I will say, when we apply this activity-based costing, it can cause many problems. Okay. Other than that, managers are skeptical to implement this system due to lack of competition between company production unit for selling product in some cases. Last but not least, the lack of attention to customers may result to some of reasons for reluctant to applying such a system. These disadvantages it happen when we implement this activity-based costing.
Conclusion: the new production system with high quality serve as a substitute to the existing product in the market. New processes must be continuously be used to produce more effective product. Companies identify with the product inaccurate pricing due to the traditional system approach. In a nutshell, activity-based costing system was implemented various manufacturing companies because the realization at the advantages accrued to activity-based costing over the conventional system of accounting. Activity-based costing system also designed as a useful guideline for managerial decision-making for high productivity and profitability. But the implementation of this system has a problem of complex implementation, costly, and resistance of employees. difficulty and variability of data collected, which is supposedly an incorporate management decision making.
Wish to all Muslims, not only in Malaysia but in the world, happy and Mubarak. Stay safe at home and kita jaga kita. Bye.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to stay safe, stay home. Kita jaga kita. Selamat Hari Raya Maaf Zahir dan Batin.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Saya ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, Maaf Zahir dan Batin kepada semua. Stay at home, kita jaga kita. 00.
Happy Aidilfitri. Stay safe everyone.